All right. All right. Hello, everyone. It is Monday. In case you forgot, I don't know how your day was. It might have been long, but we are here regardless. We're going to talk some Star Wars tonight. We got lots of news. We got some unpopular opinions. We're going to get all controversial. And most importantly, we have an incredibly special guest. But before we get into all that, Wes has to punch it. Punch it. Punch it. Hello, everyone. Welcome into the Living Force. You have found us. You are here. We're going to talk some Star Wars tonight. I am one of your hosts, Eric Eilerson, and joining me are some lovely folks. First of all, we have Dr. Corey Helton. Hey, man.
What up? What up? What up? Doctor, I feel like a doctor. I've been awake for a long time. I was on a 24-hour call last night in the ICU. Again,
Ew.
I'm not, I shouldn't be in the ICU, but I just did one day of ICU to cover for somebody else, and it was hard. Not gonna lie.
That's right, everyone. Your doctors
tired.
don't want to be there.
That's right.
Well, you know who else is tired? Wes Jenkins? Are you? I don't know. Are you tired?
Yes, I'm very tired. I just stay awake all day today because I went back into the office. There's usually a lunch nap in there every once in a while, but
Ew.
I am so much more productive when I'm in the office. Please don't tell anybody that. But
Great.
it's the
All right.
freaking truth.
Everyone watching and listening, that's a secret between you and Wes. But you know what's not a secret is the incredible guest we have on tonight's show. Straight from Pink Milk, we have Brian Barry joining the show. Hey, man.
Oh.
Welcome. Oh, you said it, guys. He said it. Oh, Brian, we have been trying to get Brian on this show for a while. Scheduling has been crazy. Life has been crazy. But our very own Dr. Charles Hankel decided to abandon us on his birthday.
What a loser. He said he wouldn't hang out with his
mean-
girlfriend. What the hell? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So F's in the chat for Charles being happy or whatever. But Brian, you are here. We're so excited.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Hey, at the top, for anyone watching and listening that doesn't know you or doesn't know Pink Milk or is living under that rock, tell us about your Star Wars journey. How did Pink Milk start? Why are you on this show?
So at Pink Milk, we talk Star Wars queerly. So, a few years ago, I was turning 40 and doing a Star Wars podcast was something I always wanted to do and just didn't. And then I forced my husband to do it because we were married and we had been together a long time. And then we got the right to get married. So then I decided I was going to take all privileges with this tiny
hell
ring.
yeah. Hell
And
yeah.
so I just
One
banged
ring
it on
to
the
rule
desk.
them all.
Wrong fandom.
That's right. Keep them separate.
But and then I forced him to hop on a podcast with me because I listen to lots of Star Wars podcasts, like many people do, and I'm like, I felt that there was not a big podcast out there for casual fans, and Tom is a casual fan at best, as as one of our friends has said. And then so it was just about forcing him to watch Star Wars, and then we turned into a big gay podcast about our family and all sorts of things. And now we've grown and we have a live stream on Fridays with two people I met doing the podcast. So we have yet to meet IRL, but Mark and Emma are great. And we've just grown a lot. It's been awesome.
That's awesome.
It's been awesome. It's been awesome seeing you guys. And I also like the tagline, we're just a big gay podcast. Like, put that on every shirt.
That needs to be a t-shirt 100%. If that is not
fantastic.
already a t-shirt, that needs to be a t-shirt. That is phenomenal.
Yeah, but it's so cool, but like listening to your show and again watching you guys grow. Because yeah, you're right. Like the dynamic you and Tom have is so fun because so many of us want that marriage or that partnership where like, oh, I love Star Wars and maybe my partner doesn't, but like that's fine because watch, it's fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we're super excited to have you
Thank
here
you.
as our fourth host tonight. Brian's gonna be with us all night, chatting all kinds of stuff. We're gonna dive into some news here at the start because y'all, we had a lot of news this week. You know what? Hold on. I got excited. I'm in my own outline. Guys, we do Patreon stuff first.
What a loser.
Charles, if you were here. Anyway, first of all, before we get into the news, we want to talk about some Patreon updates. We want to thank our very own Lane Dudley, who jumped up a Patreon tier, decided that we were worth doing so. Thank you. That's always cool for us. We appreciate it. And we want to remind all of our patrons that on May the 4th, we will be having a Night at the Opera event. So come hang out with us. We're going to watch some stuff. Bad Batch related, of course, because, oh my God, I can't wait. Stay tuned for that. But most importantly tonight, we want to talk about our patron of the week here real quick, who is none other than our very own Jason Mitchell, who sent in a picture. We're showing up here. Look at Jason. Look at his patron of the weekness.
Look at that beard cut,
yeah,
man.
It's got
Look
a strong
at that
beard game.
God.
Strong beard game.
The
Very
beard
strong.
Dang. All right, I'm gonna go to the doc to read what Jason wrote, so I'm not distracted by your greatness, my friend. So Jason wrote in and said the following. He said, "I'm Jason Mitchell, originally from Cleveland, Ohio, and currently living just outside of Charlotte in Waxhaw, North Carolina. I got into Star Wars after I got a VCR with my grandfather at a yard sale, and it had a copy of The Empire Strikes Back in it.
Man, that's like
Wow,
treasure
what a
right
great
there.
phenomenal.
story.
I mean, it worked. I was about 10 years old at the time and went out to buy the rest from our local video store. Been a fan ever since. Tough part about growing up a fan was that I had to do it alone. I was in my teens through the prequel trilogy and remember going to the theater alone to see them because no one I was around wanted to go with me. The prequels hold a special place in my heart because of how they touched me at such a pivotal time in my life. In the Navy, I finally found some other Star Wars fans, and this is when I got introduced to the Clone Wars series. My favorite part of Star Wars is probably this series because it bridges the gap of my favorite movies and gave us so much good Anakin and Ahsoka! Exclamation points, as they should be. Now in my life as a father, I have been sharing my love of Star Wars with my children, and it has been amazing. My daughter loves Rey. My son loves Obi-Wan. I started getting into the books recently because I needed more Star Wars content and have seen everything there is to see when it comes to movies and TV. A YouTube search about Star Wars books led me to Youtini, and I decided to give the Living Force podcast a shot. After a couple of episodes, I was hooked. Being a black man raising black children, one area that has not always been welcoming for us is sci-fi in general. And if you look through the content creators around Star Wars, there's not much inclusion at all. Episode 60 of the podcast had me hooked. Seeing people that gave a damn about diversity in this area was amazing. Knowing that I wanted to know more about the books and hearing that episode made me decide to contribute and join the Patreon channel. I literally canceled my YouTube TV membership just to fit $30 a month into my small budget my wife allows me to have, so I could support what I felt was minimally appropriate. Wow. I love the entire network, and I just want the entire team at Youtini to understand how much me and my family appreciate you all. One odd question. Who is one random character that while reading a book, you instantly cast them with who you thought would play them perfectly in real life? For me, reading Light of the Jedi, Sigourney Weaver instantly came to mind when I pictured what Hedda Cassett would look like.
Ooh.
Wow. All right. Well, Jason, first of all, Jason, dude, that's so nice, man. Thank you.
Nice, man.
That's a beautiful sentiment. And
it makes me happy because, you know, the reality is we are four white guys that just sit around and talk about Star Wars, right? So it's important. It's important for us to make sure people feel like they're included. And if we successfully got that point across, that makes me really happy. So
yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, that's super.
We read them early and I get sappy. So question though, this is interesting because when we all read Star Wars books, I always like to see if people have fan cast people, you know, like on Tumblr or like whatever it may be. Do you guys have any book characters that you've cast in your head as a specific person?
Yes.
That's a tough.
I have one that immediately came to mind when I was reading Into the Dark. Mostly because of the cover. Because I had a visual, and then they had a new picture of Affy come out. That is 100% Danica Patrick to the T. Playing that role.
All right. Interesting.
So I see her
like that.
playing Affy.
I am so bad at this. I am so bad at this. I've never been. You guys. I cannot remember the names of people in the books. I can't remember the name of actors and actresses. I am just not a. I am not a names person. Like I'll go see a patient in my clinic, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm Dr. Helton. We met before." And they're like, "Yeah, bro, you're my PCP. I've seen you like 5 times." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry, the mask. It makes everyone hard to recognize. Sorry, dude."
Yeah. I would work on being memorable then. Anyway, how's your knee?
I'm bad at this. So I don't have an answer off the top of my head.
I'll throw one out. Last year we did our Alphabet Squadron cast challenge, right, where we had everyone fan cast Alphabet Squadron. And ever since we did that, Shasna Chaddock to me is always Zoe Saldana. I just feel like she has that like
that's a good one.
Gamora energy.
Yeah.
So I've been putting her in Alphabet Squadron in my mind.
Okay.
I don't know. Brian, do you have a similar names version as Corey?
I don't know anything about celebrities. I just know the characters they play.
Great. As it should be. As it should be. There's no Tom Holland. There's only Peter Parker.
Exactly.
Clear. As I'm sure the rest of his career may show us. But I'll tell you what, if you are watching and listening to this and you got your own fan casts, honestly, whether it's a response tweet to this episode on Twitter or whether it's anytime you're reading a book, let me know. I want to see your fan cast for characters. I love the visuals in my head. The High Republic has been great because we've gotten so much character art. So I'm all about it. I love the visual learnings. But even more than that, Jason, I love all your sentiments, man. I'm so glad to have you in this community. And thank you for your question and hanging out. I see you in the chat right now, dude. Thanks for hanging out on these Mondays. Absolutely love it. If you're on our Patreon, keep your eyes out. Timothy will be reaching out to see if you are our next patron of the week. All right, now it's time for the Star Wars Weekly Roundup. The news that I promised earlier, but I was a dang filthy liar. First of all, we have 2 book reviews really quickly that I want to get through this week. The first being this guy, which we have not talked about too much on this show. Here's a thumbnail. All right, great, you're welcome. I don't do that as much as I should.
That's appreciated.
So this is Skywalker, A Family at War by Kristen Baver, host of This Week in Star Wars. You know her, you love her. This is essentially a biography of the Skywalker protagonist as if it were being told in the Star Wars universe, right? Like if you're reading a biography of like a president or an actor, this is like that, but for all Star Wars characters. And the amazing thing about this book that I didn't expect is that it writes the biography of the history of the Skywalkers, including the movies, but also the shows, but also the books. Like there is a part where she's talking about Qui-Gon early on in Anakin's journey, and she mentions Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan's mission to Pijal, which you all may remember from Master and Apprentice, Claudia Gray's novel, which we absolutely adored. That's in this book and given as much weight as anything in the films. And if you know anything about us here at Youtini, we love the inclusion of the universe when everything works together. And this book it's just a straight up retelling of it. It's not like your normal reference guide, which is odd because it is from DK, who does all the visual guides and things like that. There's some pictures from the films in it, but for the most part, it's just a straight up text biography. So if you're someone who has a friend that doesn't want to watch 7th season of Clone Wars and doesn't want to read 18 canon books, get them this, because it straight up tells you all the main plot points. Mortis is in here. It has stuff about that. It has stuff about the thoughts of Ben Solo and Rey. It has a little bit of conjecture as to why they did things they did. So Kristen Baver really has what I think is going to be a dark horse this year, and especially holiday seasons. Pick up Skywalker, A Family at War. It's out tomorrow as this recording. You got to grab it. Kristen, great work. I love seeing nonfiction fiction in Star Wars. Really freaking cool. Loved it.
That's awesome.
And secondly, this week is packed, y'all. I've shown this a couple weeks now. The Dr. Aphra script book, the bound version of the audio drama we loved so much last year by Sarah Kuhn. It is in the same format as the Dooku Jedi Lost script book that we really liked. And if you're unfamiliar with them, it's literally just a typed out version of everything that was said in the script itself in the audio drama. And what's really fun about this one is that, one, you get stage directions about what Black Chrysanthemum was actually trying to say, which is fun. But also there's some really fun things here. Like the Dramatis Personae, which gives you all the characters are in there, is written kind of with the tongue-in-cheek version of Aphra. Like one of my favorites is Han Solo is listed as reformed scoundrel, always claims to save the day, actually useless. And like all of them have stuff like that. It's a very fun tonal script. So if you're someone, one, that just wants this beautiful art on your shelf, come on now. It's definitely a must buy for every collector out there, but also to see what this process was like from the actor's point of view. Great time to look at the script. Great thing to pick up. I know Sarah Kuhn is also signing a bunch, so go to her Twitter account. Again, use Youtini affiliate links if you feel driven to do so. But I know she's helping out a lot of indie bookstores. So pick this up, put it on your shelf. These 2 books, both welcome surprises for me, honestly. Not your typical canon fare, not your typical reference books, but really nice little I was almost like things in a year we don't have much content, but we're full of content. But it's more content you need because it's Star Wars. Woo! Now, speaking of more content, y'all, we got more book announcements this week, which I didn't expect. The first of which,
oh man, so many book announcements. What the heck? Are we gonna be able to go through a month without? I know we gotta breathe. Charles, it's so funny. Every time a new book comes out, Charles is like, "Guys, I'm gonna have to quit my job," because he writes all the questions for the round tables. It's just like, how does he have time to breathe?
Hyperventilating into a bag, just
Well, and it's great because we're finally, we had this month before Thrawn Ascendancy Greater Good comes out, and then we're like, okay, then we'll read that. But then here, throw up the banner of our first piece of news because we got an announcement that freaking Thrawn Ascendancy, the third book, Lesser Evil, is coming out. Checks notes. November 16th of 2021.
Right, this year. Holy crap.
Oh, wow.
Our Tom from Del Rey made a great point that the entire Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy is going to be released within 14 months.
Wow, that is impressive.
Yeah, Timothy is busy or was busy.
Yeah, I gotta Brian, what are your Thrawn thoughts? How do you like our blue boy?
Oh, I love my blue boy. I love to ship my blue boy with Inquisitors, and
yes, good.
Yeah, we're there. I like how minimal he is with his words, and
yes.
The books are very minimal in their words too. So I can understand why they got 3 out in a year because he doesn't write a lot.
No, he doesn't write a lot. It's very very slow moving. It's. I mean, Timothy's on. Someone check on him. Give him some water. Like, I don't know. He wrote 3 books so quickly, but pre-order links are up now. Check him out. Thrawn Ascendancy, Lesser Evil. Can't wait. But also, we got more books that are coming out this year because if you know us on this show, we've always said, oh, the Legends books are great, but some of them, like the Darth Bane trilogy, maybe need some updated covers. And then Del Rey was like, oh, do you want that? Here, look at this.
This is nuts, dude. I can't believe this is happening. Like we've always said there's no way they're going to do anything with Legends, but they're clearly doing something with Legends. And this is awesome.
Yeah. The Legends Essentials collection, which is a thing that is starting with these 3 books, Heir to the Empire, Path of Destruction, and Shatterpoint, will be re-released in full trade paperback size. So it's bigger than your mass market paperbacks you get on Amazon nowadays, with brand new cover art all coming in July 15th. And this is going to be a thing that they're going to keep rolling out these Legends books.
I know, dude. This is sick. Also, first of all, we have to talk about a couple things on these covers really quick. So on this Thrawn cover, like that is very reminiscent of the original Thrawn cover, right? With the lightning thing shooting out of the guy's fingers on the cover of the old one. And finally, a Bane cover that isn't garbage.
It's so he looks scary there.
He
Not
does
like
look scary. It's just finally
like a guy who works at Spencer's Gifts on the original cover. It's like, hey man, it's like, do you want a belt buckle or a t-shirt about weed? It's like Bane.
My god.
They look tremendous. And it's again, it's so great because the Legends community, like, y'all, you're not forgotten, okay? Like it's fine. Like
I do have to ask though, how do we feel about Shatterpoint by Matthew Stover being referred to as an essential Legends collection? Interesting choice. Very interesting choice.
I haven't read it.
I have read that one. Mace Windu is as big of a douche in that book as he is in the movies. Let's just say that.
Well then,
we're already getting into the controversial opinions of the episode.
Yeah, right. Teaser. Oh yeah, they'll add. I think Tom said that I think like there's going to be maybe seasonal releases, something like that. So I mean, keep an eye out.
I think they're going to release every single Legends just so they can get a little bit more money.
Ruins of Dantooine, the Legends Essential Collection.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be high up on the list of why they did it. I mean,
wait, for money? Wes, how dare you?
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't. They needed to just change the covers.
But anyway, keep your eye out for those. Those are coming out. Again, pre-order links all up on all your regular things now. Penguin Random House has main sites and stuff.
You think they're going to do other stuff like the X-Wing series, like some of the longer stuff that's like multiple? Oh, yeah. Man, that's really cool, man. I'm really excited about this.
It's really cool. I love it. You know what else is really cool? I'm gonna segue. Wes, what are you gonna say?
I should say the X-Wing series right before the Rogue Squadron movie comes out.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Ooh. What if they like took screenshots from the trailers and like printed them on the covers to like throw people and we're like,
don't
like
you
the
say
movie,
that,
but
Eric?
it's totally different. Don't you love film covers? But yeah, Jared makes a good point in the chat. They did hint that X-Wing was coming. Someone tweeted at them and asked, and they said, like, stay tuned. So
Nice.
We'll see. Legends is alive, y'all. But
Legends
what is even
is
more
dead.
alive?
Legends is dead. In case you didn't know.
That's my second segue that got interrupted.
Trying
to get to
All right,
the
here.
main part of the
I'll
show.
segue you. I'll segue you right now. Here
Do
you
it.
go.
Do
Segue.
it.
There you go. Look at this.
Segue. Look at this. This was a really amazing thing this week. The trans community in Star Wars has had a hard year with a lot of things we've covered on this show, and a lot of people have gotten angry about. But this past week was the Trans Day of Visibility, and Star Wars officially celebrated by showing one of the upcoming Pride covers for the comics that features Sarah and Tarek, two non-binary trans Jedi. And look at that art. That is freaking gorgeous, and it is so cool that like all the official Star Wars platforms were like, yeah, there are trans and non-binary people in Star Wars.
Yeah, that was cool.
The end. Deal with it.
A whole bunch of people like tweeted that stuff out too. Like the official Star Wars accounts all tweeted it out. It was really awesome. So
yeah,
it was good to see that.
There was a lot of pride around it for sure. It was good. It was really, really great, actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, in a time when like we've seen in some places, Star Wars has been less than on top of the ball for some forms of a lot of harassment and a lot of things. It's nice to finally see like them, they're going to get a lot of hate for it, but they're going to sell a lot of copies of that book. I tell you what, it's gorgeous and we're
It's
proud.
a variant
Thank
cover
you, Star
too.
Wars.
Yeah, rock on.
Yeah.
And thanks to the show notes, I get their names. It's one
Sarah and Tarek.
backwards.
They're awesome. Neat. And which you can also see in this week's High Republic #4, releasing on Wednesday and covered on the Cosmic Force show, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Another piece of news, segue. I was going to start saying segue when I want a new thing to come up on screen. Not me. Segway! Segway! Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, baby. We got a new trailer for The Bad Batch this week, and it blew my brains out of my skull. We got this amazing poster we're showing here. And, what were your... We've gotten some footage, but what were your impressions of the footage we got in this trailer? Because we got Captain Rex showed up. We got more Fennec Shand.
It's basically season 7 Clone Wars animation of some of the best part of season 7, and it's more. I hope we just get more. Bring it on, please.
Yeah.
It looks like they're trying to reach more of a. I mean, not that it wasn't a kid show to begin with, maybe, but they have a character the kids can relate to. If you're watching it with your kids, then they have a younger. I guess a younger character in there now.
Yeah, Omega,
run
right?
away with them. Be great.
Yeah, Brian, what do you think?
I am very excited. Even Tom, who is our casual fan at best, was very excited to have like a point of view character. He's like, oh, it's kind of like that Edgar kid from Rebels, right? I was like, oh, Ezra, yeah.
Edgar Bridger.
I love
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. You guys, I really like that writer, Ezra Allan Poe. He's my favorite writer.
Totally, yeah.
Oh, my God.
I was excited to see Saw Gerrera, which I'm all about. Anyone who doesn't like the Jedi, I am here for them all the time. Yes, give us some Borgullet, 100%.
Oh my God, animated Borgullet would be maybe the most nightmare. Like, hey kids, look at the octopus. It's gonna take your mind out.
Well, we've reintroduced tentacles with Durg with Star Wars vintage stuff this week.
Right.
With, Clone Wars, God,
March
tentacles are back in Star Wars, y'all.
Yeah, we did it. We did it, everyone. We got the tentacles back.
There's so many different iterations of Saw Gerrera. Like that's been.
He's in the most medium, isn't he?
He is.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Like, who knows when Forrest Whitaker signed up for those 3 days of shooting? They're like, all right, man.
I think he must have won up somebody when he got into Jedi Fallen Order, the video game.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, there he is again.
I did it. I'm in a video game. Excellent.
He shopped for 3 days and got like 15 hairdos, right? Between all the outfits that he got.
Right. Shave your head. Put it all on. Now halfway. Anyway, Bad Batch, May the 4th. They also announced it's going to be a 70-minute premiere episode. None of this 22-minute stuff to start.
That's big.
I love it.
Make me take a day off because I know all y'all on Twitter aren't going to wait. Tag your spoilers. Let's start saying it right now. Tag your spoilers. Hashtag
right.
Bad Batch. Hashtag spoilers on the day of because some of us got to go to work. But I'll
That's
take
why
a
you
day
get up
off.
at 3:30.
You're the kid. How do you do that?
I feed off my love. That's what it is. And it just
Oh my
propels me through
God.
the day.
Oh my God.
Listening.
All right. Well, I have
That's
only
the
pure
secret
hatred in my
ingredient,
life.
powered by love.
All right. Well, hey, speaking of love, organic segue. Last thing we're going to talk about is something great news we had both for the Living Force and for Pink Milk today. A friend of the show, a friend of ours, Maggie Lovett over at Your Money Geek, put out a list where people could vote for their top 10 best Star Wars podcasts of the year. And both of our shows got nominated. This was a huge surprise. It was a huge honor. This is just super cool. And what I want y'all to do, if you're listening, head over to any of our social medias, any podcast, Star Wars social medias, to be honest, and check out the link. Maggie put a ton of work into this. And if you happen to love Pink Milk, if you happen to love Living Force, head over to there, give us a vote. And on May the 4th, Maggie will announce the top 10 Star Wars podcasts. And that was just really cool. And shout out to Maggie and for all that work, and shout out to all of y'all for nominating. It was nice. It was very nice.
It was crazy. I was very touched. We've been at this for like a year, and Lord knows a year ago I had no idea what I was doing. Everyone, please stop listening to those first few episodes.
Come on now. But now look at this. But look at this lighting setup. Come on, alone in a year. It's crazy. But it's awesome to see podcasts that are spreading the love, get some love back. So thank you to all of you on the podcast community. Get those votes out there. And speaking of podcast community, I lied. I had one more segue in me. This was earlier in the show notes, and I skipped it. This Wednesday, if you're watching us live, we want to tell you about a new podcast coming out, which is The Cosmic Force, the third of the Youtini live streaming trinity. We're calling it. It's going to be our comics-only show. They're starting this week, Wednesday night, and we wanted to show you their intro trailer they put on social media. One last push. Corey, whenever you're ready. Wes, whenever you're ready. Whoever's hitting the button. Let's show our friends what they can expect from the Cosmic Force this Wednesday. Oh,
Sick!
man.
Yes.
Sick! Oh man,
Comics.
Stoked for that. We've been these guys have been working their butts off for like 3 months getting ready for this show. This is the most effort we've ever put into the launch of a new show, and they're ready. They are ready, absolutely. We've done a couple like full dress rehearsals behind the scenes, just internally at Youtini, and it's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited to follow along with the comics because I don't find myself able to read a lot of the comics, and so much cool stuff keeps happening in comics lately. So I am stoked. Congratulations to that team. It's gonna be awesome.
Absolutely.
Rad. Very, very
Excited.
rad.
Yeah, their dry runs were so much better than our first podcast.
Yeah.
episodes.
Yes. As Brian said, never listen to the first episodes. Like we'll get there, which is crazy because it's always the most listened to. Anyway, Cosmic Force, Wednesday night at 7, 8, 7
sometime.
p.m.
Sweet.
It's at 7. It's at 7 somewhere in the country, and it's at 8 somewhere in the country. Probably
7 Central, 8 Eastern.
that sounds
All
good.
right.
8. Emma says 8 in the chat. 8 p.m. Eastern time.
8 p.m.
Yes.
Eastern time.
Man, we had to vamp for a while on that one.
Well, we love you guys. We're proud of y'all. Thank you so much. And on that, I think that takes care of everything for our longest Star Wars Weekly Roundup. We're going to take one more break because we have a new merch ad that I'm very excited to see. And then we're going to come back. We're hanging out with Brian. We're going to talk our unpopular opinions. So get those hot takes ready. We'll be back in a second.
Wrong one.
No! Oh man, those. God, I'm in such a chill mood now. It's also because I'm drinking red wine, I'll be honest. But the merch ad definitely helped. All right, so folks, for the main part of this episode, we wanted to talk about some unpopular opinions that we have. Now, is that a clickbait title? It is. Did we do it on purpose? We did. However, we wanted to make sure that a lot of time unpopular opinions are all about, like, you know what you like? I think it sucks because retweets.
Yeah.
Not our thing. Not it. But we want to talk about
I have my red laser beams ready to go, though. Like, I'm going to have it all over.
You best. Because tonight, what we're going to be talking about are some things that either we really love that we think is weird, some silly things that are weird, or some things that maybe we don't get the hype necessarily, but we are open to maybe our fellow hosts, to maybe the chat, illuminating us about what might be fun. So we're here for a nice and fun chat. And Brian, we gave you this homework assignment, and I would love to start with you, my friend. What is your first unpopular Star Wars opinion?
Do we want to start with like something really hot, of like something that everyone's really into that I know is going to spark particular debate here?
Oh, yeah.
The answer
Let's
is
go.
yes.
Let's go.
Okay, so everyone's super stoked on this. I understand why. But Darth Vader hallway scene in Rogue One is like not my jam.
What? What?
Oh my God! Soul leave his body.
Well, Brian, it's been fun having you on the show.
Let me see if this works.
We're coming in.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
So, well, okay. So in the spirit of it all, what does it do for it? What does it do it for you?
So I am a huge, like, Return of the Jedi is my very favorite movie. All of Star Wars, forever and always. I think Darth Vader is such a rad mega boss in that movie. And I love how when we first meet him in A New Hope, he's kind of a lackey. He's a punching bag. He's like, oh, you're still part of this old dusty religion that nobody wants. And he gets pushed around, right? Then he's a man on a mission in Empire. He's like, oh, I've got a kid. Okay. And his wheels are spinning. How he's going to ditch that Sith #1 dude, right? And he's going to get his son over. And then we get to Return of the Jedi. And we were just talking about this, but that opening shot of him coming out of the shuttle. And he is just a boss and so powerful.
Walking Vader. It's so good.
And I feel like Rogue One kind of steals that moment.
I see. So you're sort of making the argument that he doesn't have to kick a whole bunch of ass, right? It's just implied. Yes. Interesting take. I've not heard that. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
You know, we got on you didn't even wait for the context. We were just like, out of here. We don't want to hear what you have to say.
I mean, we're still never having you on the show again, but I mean, other than that.
Yeah. You see, kids, the lesson that you learn on the Living Force today is maybe listen and figure out what. That's a great point. And I think that's an interesting thing with a lot of main Star Wars things that people really love is that it's not saying you can't love a thing, but there could be deeper reasons. I love that. All right. Whew. Okay, that starts us off very hot. I like. You know what? Here, I'm gonna jump on that as well and do a similarly hot take. Let's ride this fire. Let's ride this fire. Mine is a book take.
Okay.
This is it. Then I get why people love it. I understand its importance.
Is it don't get the hype? Is that what we're doing right now? Is don't get the hype?
I think we are. I think we're doing it a little bit. Or maybe it's like even get the hype, but don't agree with the hype, maybe.
Okay.
Ish. The original Thrawn trilogy doesn't do it for me.
Ooh.
I like Thrawn's characterization better in the canon books than in Legends.
Interesting.
That's my
why.
And here's why it's great. I think that the Luke and Mara and all the light side stuff in the Thrawn trilogy is great. I really like their dynamic. I really like the whole whispering of Palpatine in Mara's mind. That's all really cool. I like the building after Endor because again, like you, Brian, a huge Return of the Jedi fan. I love the idea of this is next, which is really fun. But for me, Thrawn is just a little too invincible at that point. I think he's at his peak, mystery, and I don't find him that interesting. I don't like Rook as much. Whereas I think that in the canon books, especially in Ascendancy, but even in the first canon Thrawn, he has those flaws, and he's a little more beatable. And I think that's also the more of the style of writing has shifted a little bit. So while I get the importance of those books, I don't put those original Thrawn trilogies in my top tier of Legends content.
I get that.
So that's my.
I can get behind that. Is this what's gonna happen? Is this what's gonna happen? Is we're just gonna we're gonna state our opinion. Everyone's gonna feign how pissed off they are, and then we're all gonna just shake hands and be like, "Oh yeah, okay." Is that what we're gonna do? Because that's kind of dumb.
That might be it. Hey, you know what? Hey, we're gonna have some fun stuff later. I'm gonna read I'm gonna read from the comments here as well. We got a couple. We'll check in here and there. Brian had a lot of caps lock in here, but then also got some respect your argument, which is great. And then Jose says his unpopular opinion is liking Kylo as a villain more than Vader.
Wow,
that is a hot take.
Interesting.
I know,
interesting indeed.
But I've heard him talk about it a lot on Star Wars Archives, and I'm like, it's different. It's different strokes. Here, Wes, you go next. We'll run up with Corey's fire. Wes, what do you got?
Okay, my don't get the hype, I guess, but see now that the Mandalorian has come out, it kind of redeemed himself. But my unpopular opinion is Boba Fett is the most overhyped character in the franchise.
Holy shit! All right,
the most overhyped in the franchise.
God. Lock the Patreon right now. Just lock it up.
So he shows up in Empire Strikes Back, right? And apparently dies right in Return of the Jedi in the very beginning.
That's right. That stupid scream he made.
What is that called? What is that scream called?
Not the Wilhelm scream.
The Wilhelm scream. There it is. It's in every movie when somebody falls down a shaft or off a building.
Oh man.
But with the Mandalorian, he kind of redeems himself a little bit. But I mean, kind of. I mean, he's got weapons and he's got a jetpack. There's a lot of Mandalorians that kind of do the same thing.
He's kind of fat though, so I mean, there's that.
God, do we have to go back to that day on Twitter? Oh my God!
I know. Everybody was so mad on Twitter. Like, why is Boba Fett fat? I'm like, shut the hell up. He's like 60 years old. Leave him alone. Come on.
Did you see what he did?
I know. He was awesome.
And what's with the Spurs? What's with the Spurs, right?
Spurs.
I mean, come on. But
Wes, did you not hear about the boots with the Spurs? With the Spurs, the whole club was looking at her.
All right, now I get it. But yeah, that is my. He has the least amount of health in Battlefront 2 video game. So I mean,
his hit points are weak.
That's what it is. Yeah. It's a hit point issue.
So that's what I'm going with.
All right, Corey, round us out. What's one last thing we can get people to turn this off?
All right.
Oh, you got the big boy.
Oh my
Boba Fett.
God! Holy smokes! I didn't know they came in that size.
I know. I say that too, and I have the Black Series.
I think we just watched Eric have an aneurysm live on the show.
I don't have any more shelf space, but I need it. I have a mighty need.
Oh man!
Oh my gosh!
Fantastic.
Whew, all
right. Don't get the hype opinion. I have one. Ezra Bridger in Rebels is the worst protagonist in any Star Wars media that's ever been produced. I cannot stand him as a character. He has no character. He has no character arc. He's a whiny little baby the entire show, and he is such a despisable character. In fact, the first time I ever watched Rebels, I could not finish. I didn't get into it. I didn't watch the whole first season because of Ezra flippin' Bridger, man. Terrible character. I hate him.
This is a great time to mention on our Patreon, we have a Rebels exclusive podcast, me and my partner Charlie, where we are almost through season 2 and go through the wonderful characterization of characters like Edgar Bridger.
Edgar Bridger might not be so great, but Ezra. And also, everyone, this might be my last time here. I'm just putting that.
Also, Jose brings up a good point. Remember, guys, Corey doesn't remember names. You actually don't know who you're talking about. It's a different character.
I will say in the last season, he does pretty much redeem himself in a lot of ways. Yeah. And Rebels is a phenomenal show that has a lot of redeeming qualities. And the last time I watched it with my wife last year. She never watched it, and we watched the whole thing. And she cried like a baby and was like mad at me for like a day after we finished it. She's hysterically crying in our living room. She's like, "Why did you make me watch that? It was so good, and I hate you for it." Oh God, fantastic.
Marriage sounds fun. I think. This is great.
Married for love.
All right.
Not for money.
Let's all, everyone, go wash your hands, grab a snack, do whatever you had to do after that.
She says she's still mad at me. She came in here to tell me.
I believe it. All right. Brian, let's switch it up a bit. What's another your choice of style? What's another popular opinion you got now that's maybe a little less spicy?
Oh God, all I have is hot. Yeah. I live in the Southwest. Everything is hot and spicy.
Welcome to Star Wars Hot Ones.
Well, I can keep it books, and like we can go back to Legends, and you can lose more people because I
love it.
I don't like that Luke Skywalker at all. I can't stand Legends Luke.
Ooh,
I have heard that. Honestly, I can maybe get behind that a little bit. And like, I mean, in the we talked about this back when The Last Jedi came out. Of like, Legends Luke is like this weird OP character that is like kind of whiny and annoying, like kind of like Ezra Bridger in a way. You know what I
mean? Well, the fun thing about Legends Luke, I think, is that for everyone, they can like a different version because no one writes him with consistency. Like it is, I think every Legends author sees themselves as Luke a little bit. So it's like, well, my Luke can bring down a Star Destroyer with his mind. Well, my Luke's a great dad. And it's like, I think
for me, like I feel collectively like they ignored Yoda when he's like, once you start down a dark path, forever will dominate your destiny. And the dude goes dark. And that's why when we meet Cranky Luke, I was like, it's about time. Like they addressed the fact that like
Cranky
Luke was going to haunt him forever.
Let's put that on a t-shirt. Just the Luke from The Last Jedi. Cranky Luke. That is accurate.
It's like how they called Thor in what is it, in Endgame bro Thor. Yeah. Because everyone's calling him Fat Thor. It's like, yeah, here's Bro Thor and Cranky Luke. All right, no, that's solid. I think that's like he is one of those characters that's so fascinating in book form and comics because I think he was such an integral character, especially you're talking Return of the Jedi Luke. I mean, my God, he sculpted so many childhoods, so many adults.
Yeah. That
when you brought him in, even like in Mandalorian season 2, I think was such a bold move because everyone's Luke is their vision of what he is. Valid point. Here I'll hit a trio character, right? The Han, Luke, Leia's, and mine is related to Leia, but it's somewhat tangential. My hot take, I'll call it a hot take and a popular opinion that I've really developed over the last year, and I was thinking about this long and hard this week. I think over the last year or two, I now enjoy and respect the stories and life of Padme more than Leia. And this is a little new for me. Like, I love Leia Organa. She is a hero of heroes. I love every version. I love the Leia Princess of Alderaan, Teen Leia. I love, obviously, the OT, and then General Leia, Bloodline Leia, like you're saying, Brian, is like your favorite book. Like, I love all those. but Padme, these last couple of years, it might be because of the E.K. Johnson novels. It might be just because of like a Clone Wars, obviously, like just seeing what Padme could do, both in the political realm and also in the romantic realm. Like her love story with Anakin has also become my favorite Star Wars romance, as evident by my awesomely slightly cringy Hot Topic shirt that I decided to wear today. Like, I just really love Padme lately. And when I think about who I'm excited to read more stuff about, I love Leia content. But if you give me that or Padme, I get more excited about the Padme love. I don't know. It's a weird realization. It's still new.
I can kind of get behind that. I mean, Leia is kind of a jerk in like her initial depiction in A New Hope. Like if you go back and watch it, like it's pretty different than all of her other depictions in BD.
It was groundbreaking. Well, someone she had to be like the stern lady.
She's like racist. Yeah. She's like, someone get this walking carpet out of my way. I'm like, holy shit! Like that's like kind of it's a little much, right? So I mean, she's kind of a jerk and stuff. So you know,
yeah.
There's just there's a lot more content with Leia before allow that Padme books came out, especially by E.K. Johnson. So I can see where you come from.
Yeah, and to be clear, this is not an anti-Leia take. This is a pro-Padme take.
Gotcha.
Which is because we respect our queen here. We respect both Carrie Fisher and Princess Leia in equal regard. But the last 5-10 years have really put such a cool, the Padme-sance, as I think Sky Talkers calls it, the last few years. Now, now Brian is,
I would argue that no character got like such a redemption in like any animation than Padme. Like I mean her entire depiction in Clone Wars like is really, really good. I mean, she's such a strong character now, and like it's definitely Clone Wars that did that for sure.
Yeah, Brian, how do you think of my? So your eyes go big with my Leia stitch, and I know you got some massive love for the girl.
I love Leia. Like I think she is an incredible character. I think her softness is oftentimes way too overlooked because it's easily shadowed by her brashness, but the softness is what wins a war, and it's her single act of kindness with Wicket that like changes everything. And it's that one moment Luke fails in Return of the Jedi and Leia succeeds, and it goes it isn't talked about enough. But I love Padme, and I'm curious where she would have gone, because I don't think Padme was not soft. She was Leia's biggest flaw in A New Hope is seeing the big picture, and she couldn't get microscopic at all, to her detriment, which we talked about in The Last Jedi between her and Poe. And I think that's kind of where Padme is, and I think that's why she and Anakin get along so well, and that's what works, is they both understand there is something bigger than the two of them. And Padme understands it more than Anakin. Like Padme knows they will never be that close because she can't. But that's kind of where she likes to put them, because she can have her love, because we all need that, but she can still have her duty. She found someone that understands duty.
Yeah, and which is beautiful, especially when you look at like I think of what is it? Attack of the. Okay.
Duty.
God. But is it Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith that has the deleted scenes with Padme like starting? It's Revenge of the Sith, isn't it?
I think so.
Deleted scenes where it's her, because like most importantly, both of these incredibly strong women are directly connected to our Lord and Savior Bail Organa. So let us be clear.
Of course,
that is important.
We celebrated him yesterday.
Yes, we did. But it's such a great point, and it makes me wonder, like, which is why Bloodline is such a great, interesting book, because we get Leia thinking back to the legacy of her mother, of Padme, right? Because she gets Bria and Bail raising her, and you get to see the daughter they make. But the more she finds out about Padme, once she finds out that Darth Vader was her father, like, it really is a beautiful line. And you wonder, like, how much can legacy raise a child versus the presence of a parental figure? And I love that Star Wars puts that in there.
Yep.
Love both of them. And just in this year, in this moment, in this second, I need that Padme content. So I'm very happy with Queen's Hope coming now and available for pre-order on Youtini.com.
I have another Legends opinion that I can kind of follow Brian with.
Please go.
Yes. Please go. And this is like actually not that super controversial of an opinion, actually. I think a lot of people feel this way. I am not a big fan of the New Jedi Order series at all. I've never finished it. I can't make myself get through it. New Jedi Order is a series written between. Talk about rapid fire books. Holy crap! Back in peak Legends era, between 1999 and 2003. This is 4 years.
Are you serious? There were like 17
19.
books or something like that?
There's 19 books in 4 years. That's incredible. It's nuts.
We have too much High Republic content. We can't keep up. Legends books like hold my beer.
Yes, exactly. That's
what are
how
you
it was.
talking about?
That's how it was. I don't like the new Jedi Order. It's very Star Trek like. I mean, it doesn't really fit in the universe. I remember the first time I tried to read it when I was a kid. Even as a kid, I was like, I don't understand this. Like, this is. It doesn't feel like Star Wars, and like. I think it's just a sign of the era, right? Like this sort of the change of the guard, I think, because 2003 is after the prequels had really kicked off. We'd really kicked off a whole new generation of Star Wars fans at that point. And books were slowly changing. We were getting lots more Clone Wars content, and I think it was just like behind. It was too late. It was too late for that series to have been written. If it would have been written like 5 years earlier, maybe it would have done better. But like. I'm just not crazy about it. I can't get behind it. I can't finish it. I've tried multiple times. Even as an adult, I've tried to read it and I can't get through it. It's just too tedious and awful.
All right. Whoa. Okay. Brian, what are your NJO thoughts? Because are you a Star Trek fan?
Oh God, no.
Me.
I acknowledge that it is immature and not like it does not speak well to me as a human, but like I can't like both. I can't like both. I like can like one.
Isn't today like today's like first contact day or something too? Like on Twitter, it's like a Star Trek holiday.
No idea.
So good for y'all. Moving on.
All right, I got one.
All right, what do you got?
The theatrical release movie order is the best order to view the movies from Star Wars. The theatrical release. So 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. With Rogue One thrown in there at the end. But there's so many different orders.
Solo, my God.
Solo is second to last, apparently.
You gonna do Kira like that?
No, of course not.
All right, okay, Brian, hit us up. What's your order?
I mean, for a hot take, we just did an impromptu ranking of our favorite movies. And Solo was my number 3.
Yes, like that movie it's so good.
It's so good.
It's really good. It really hits all the nostalgia factors that everybody was searching for when any of these movies came out. Like, what happened with how did Han and Chewie meet? Boom, did it, found you.
And then they did such a great job.
They really did.
No, Brian, you have an interesting take that none of the three of us have, nor Charles. Hope you're having a good birthday. Anyway,
we have a video of
we
his
do have a
share.
video, Charles.
He'll be next
show that.
then. I want to ask Brian, because you are raising a youth, and you get to pick their Star Wars order. Youths, right?
Oh, you do.
So
okay.
you as a parent get to decide what order in which they experience your universe. So what are you doing?
With great power comes great responsibility.
That's right.
True.
Yes. So we just mentioned this. I'll make it real quick. But
yes,
one of my middle child, we went and saw Empire Strikes Back. I may have made a poor parenting decision, but we went and saw it while it was in the movie theater, right?
Nice.
And my middle child, when Yoda comes on the screen, his response was, "Oh, hey, that's the guy with the seagulls."
That log had a child.
I was like, I can stand by this.
From YouTube.
I love that so much. That is the best Yoda take I've ever heard. Their introduction to the character Yoda is the Seagull song from YouTube. My God.
Okay.
But I think right now I'm really into I call it the Legend of Luke Skywalker. So I start with The Force Awakens, then The Last Jedi, then jump to A New Hope, Empire.
Oh crap! I've never heard of this.
Then the prequels, and then Jedi, and then Tross.
Wow!
Whoa!
That's
you're gonna have to
clever.
tell me that again. I might want to try that. Try that.
So you start with The Force Awakens, then The Last Jedi, then New Hope and Empire, then the prequels, then Jedi, and then Tross. It's just like
that is cool.
I feel like you get some really cool Luke stuff because you leave Empire and he could go bad, he could not. You just watched his father, who started off as a cute, happy little kid, just like Luke, but he goes dark. So now you're like, and then you get to Tross, and you're like, is Rey going to go dark? Is it actually going to happen this time? Are they going to win? And then nope, the Skywalkers come in and save it anyways.
Yeah, I love that. That really, that's pretty cool. That is really cool. It makes it a kind of a telling the tale of a legend type of story. Yeah. I love that. That is really cool.
Looking at the chat here, we have a ton of comments going throughout the night. Y'all are phenomenal. Jason says his daughter said the only way to watch Star Wars is in chronological order, and she said only nostalgic people want it any other way. Interesting. Also,
in other words, old people. Let's be clear.
We're old. Then also Timothy said your order, Brian, it's called the nesting order.
Yep. Apparently. Yeah, they were just talking about it on Sky Talkers.
Sky Talkers. Nice, yep. That's what Alex was saying. Cool. So
I will say I've watched them. I introduced some friends of mine to Star Wars with the machete order once. Yeah. That back when that was pretty popular. Before I guess we watched it about the time The Force Awakens came out, so you couldn't really fit the sequels in there yet. But I didn't like the machete order. I'll have to say, like after having done it, like with people, like I felt like I had to pause and explain a lot, and I didn't like it. I think I'm actually with you, Wes. I think chronological order is the best way to introduce people to it. But the problem is now with the youths of today, like a lot of people don't think the original trilogy holds up. A lot of people think that.
Yeah, people that are wrong. I know. I bet that.
You know what?
We're all wrong about some stuff.
Empire is an incredible movie. Like, nobody can tell me otherwise. But A New Hope has got some, it looks like a movie that was made at least in the 80s. So, I mean...
Well, and it's interesting because, like, when Charlie and I first watched, she first watched Rogue One with other people, or their first Star Wars movie, and her second one ever was Solo. So... that was interesting.
It's hard to follow. Holy crap.
Well, but then when we got together, I was like, okay, so she'd never seen any of the numbers. So we did just release order. Is how we started out. Because I'm like, I think that once you've seen them, I love the nesting order idea. I actually can't wait to do that myself. But I think so many of them just subconsciously like do Easter eggs and callbacks from the ones that came before. But I would love, oh my God, we have so many in the chat. Keep throwing out your orders. I love this topic. But I do want to take a second now. I want to see because Charles, birthday boy, abandoner of the podcast. I'm going to take a week to recover from this. Did send us a video with his one. He got one Unpopular Opinion. And I want to see what it is because he can't defend himself. Let's see what he had. What are you saying, Dr. Charles? That's a good set.
Whoa!
This is so good.
It's out of control. It's out of control. No. Where's it at? Where did I put it, Wes?
Custom video.
Yo, what up, guys? It's Charles here. As you can probably see, sorry I missed the show tonight. I really wish I could be there with y'all, but I'm sure you're in better hands with Brian from Pink Milk. I bet he's better company than I was going to be anyways. So I know this is our Star Wars Unpopular Opinions episode, and even though I couldn't make it, I wanted to be heard. I wanted my unpopular opinion to be known, and I think y'all actually probably know what it is because I brought this up a bunch of times before. Mace Windu is alive, y'all. Mace Windu is alive. Come on, he's alive. Think about everything that happened to him. People that think he's dead, I challenge you, let's talk about what happened to him. 1, he got his hand cut off. Cool. Who in Star Wars has not had their hand cut off? Never killed anybody. Never did. Lightsabers cauterize those wounds, man. Number 2, he was hit with some Sith lightning. Okay, but like way less than Luke was in Return of the Jedi. And Luke was okay. I mean, maybe a little bit worse for wear, but he lived. He didn't go into cardiac arrest, anything like that. He was fine. What else happened to him? He got thrown out a window. He's a Jedi, y'all. Obi-Wan threw himself out of windows on purpose in Attack of the Clones. I don't know if anyone else has been watching the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars series on Disney+, which I know is not canon, but Mace Windu does far worse than that to himself and lives through it. I do think that he's going to come back one day. I really do. Samuel L. Jackson has said he'll do it, and when Sam Jackson wants to be a part of your property, you let him be a part of your property, right? It's gonna happen. I know the ongoing joke here at Youtini is that we all hate Mace Windu. Maybe he's not so bad. He's definitely alive, though. Definitely alive. See you guys next time.
Wow, man. Okay. Number one, Charles, A+ comedic timing throughout. That was well filmed. You're pausing, your script work. Also, do you know you had that thing in your hair? Anyway, God.
Oh man, I hate Mace Windu so much.
I can't disagree in any facet. In any facet, yeah.
Brian, is he alive?
One word, citizen. You're dead.
So he's dead to us. That's what makes sense. That's the important part.
And also, Charles, I'm not offended at all that you're not here. Yeah. Not at all.
I do have to say, I don't know that there's any other character that's ever been killed off, played by any actor, that I would be more okay with showing up, even as just a cameo. If it was just like a random alien, but it was obviously Samuel L. Jackson, like in the background of a scene. Please do that. Please do that. Oh
yeah, like I think that I'd be fine if he came back. I'm not mad about it. I think it's an interesting story thing, but also I want him to be wearing the Nick Fury hoodie from Winter Soldier and the sunglasses, but just I'm Mace Windu. Okay, sure. Like, whatever. But it's a great point.
I think
it's a great point.
I think we should close this out with a silly opinion, like something that we know is a stupid opinion, like, but that everybody else disagrees with.
Ooh, okay. I will.
And everybody disagrees with?
No, I mean, like most people will say is yes, that's a stupid opinion.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Do you have it, Wes?
I sure do.
Let's hear it. Let's hear
fire
it.
away.
The Force kick in Return of the Jedi was awesome.
When Luke misses him?
That's a Force kick. The Force kick in Return of the Jedi. It was awesome.
It was awesome.
Prove me wrong.
Oh my god.
He was in Chanel boots. You can kick all day long in Chanel.
Oh my
That's
god.
great.
He used Chanel boots to kick with the Force.
That's what I got. That was my
stupid opinion.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't even know how to follow that. I completely forgot what mine was.
That's so dumb.
I can't even remember
love that.
what I was gonna say. That was so good. Man.
Brian, do you got? I'm also blanking. Brian, do you have anything? Wow.
So the reason that they created the Star Wars Vintage Collection on Disney Plus is because they wanted to bring in Battle for Endor to introduce Teak to the world, because they really are going to rewrite the sequel trilogy, but it's not going to be through the world between worlds. Teak is going to run backwards through the galaxy, and he's going to go rewind time because he's faster than the Flash. Wolfie Brimley will be back. It's all going to happen, and we're getting a new 7, 8, 9. Thanks to Teak.
Elaborate. I love it.
Oh my god.
I don't know if that's a hot take or a silly thing that anybody else is into. But I'm into it.
It's definitely the going theory online, as I've seen. So I don't know if it's that unpopular.
Oh my god.
That is. This is their 106th episode. That's the first time Teak has been mentioned.
Oh
my god.
Injustice.
All right. I have one that it's not. Those are our peak. We're not getting better than those two. I'm gonna prepare you. Mine is one that some people think is silly, but I actually think has like a way better meaning behind it. And that is in The Last Jedi. Everything in Canto Bight, I think, is actually one of the most important parts of the film. A lot of people think it's a silly race and it's a silly thing here and there, and it's very humorous. But I think that is one of the most important parts of Star Wars, frankly, because it shows one of the protagonists the dark side of war. It shows the audience what war profiteering looks like, and the glamour and the glitz that we have glorified in places like Coruscant and stuff is bought with the blood of all the innocent people. And I think that the victory of just tearing up the rich people's town, that they'll fix. We know that. We're not going to stop war. But having the statement of this is what it means to stop this, it takes a silly scene and actually tells one of the most important lessons, I think, of the sequel trilogy.
Okay.
That's my hot take.
I like that.
All right.
And father ears are so adorable. Look at their ears. Just look at them.
Their ears.
Just look at them.
It's like a weird kangaroo, bunny rabbit, horse.
I think that's word for what Ryan Johnson said to the concept artists. Yeah, that's
accurate.
Kangaroo, rabbit, bunny, horse. That's what I want.
He was a big fan of the Tank Girl movie from the 90s.
Oh man, Tank Girl, what a good movie.
Tank Girl,
I'm not at all surprised that.
Oh my gosh.
That's hilarious.
All right, Corey, finish us out. What do you got, buddy?
Stupid opinions. I think that Anakin and Padme's love story in Attack of the Clones is an accurate depiction of what love looks like at 19 years old. Like everybody's like, oh, the dialogue is so cringy. I'm like, bro, what were you like at 19? Because I'm pretty sure I said half that shit. Like, I love it. All the horrible dialogue, like, Anakin, you're breaking my heart. I'm like, I probably said those exact words. Like, for real.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It's not bad screenwriting. Wow. It's not bad dialogue. It's actually how it would have been at 19 years old.
If you get to go, essentially, you are a 19-year-old that has never known romance other than the girl that babysat you for a day when you were 9. Then she's like, want to take me alone to my home planet that's in a serene place, and I will wear these beautiful flowing garments. And, oh, yeah, no one's watching us. You want to cuddle in the field?
Also, let's build a fire, and I'm going to wear all leather.
And are you still a Jedi now? No, nope, never have been. Can't say. Jedi, I don't know her.
I would say the Jedi are almost encouraged to love, especially in leather.
I don't. Anakin goes to leave, and he's all like,
for leather.
We could keep it a secret.
Because you know what? He went to bed that night and he's like, guys, I nailed it. I did it. I remember dude, when I was 19, I would text girls freaking sonnets that I wrote being like, I'm so cool. I am awesome.
Sonnets.
I am great.
Could you live that? We would be living a lie. Oh, you're right. I couldn't do that. But I totally could. But no, you're right. We couldn't do that.
Mark Perez in the chat. Also, here's some fruit.
Obi-Wan would be very grumpy. Let me cut your pear in midair.
Dude, we all when you're a teenager, all you want to do is show off in front of your crush and like be like, I'm gonna be a little naughty. I can't break all the rules, but I'll be like, ooh, like a little dangerous. And yeah, you see the opening, and whatever your first big crush of your life says, you're like, oh yeah, it's fine. No one can know. Yeah, totally. That's great. You gotta come to my parents' house. Natural, normal, very normal thing. Yep, absolutely. That's great.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Wow. And hey, you know what? A perfect one to end on, because y'all, I will say again, no links from us. This Anakin Padme kiss shirt is on sale at Hot Topic. It is 100% worth it.
I cannot believe that's a real shirt. Oh my god.
And I gotta say, their love story has a bunch of chapters in Bringing It Back and Skywalker Family at War. It talks a lot about Padme and Anakin.
I bought that earlier while you were talking about. No shit.
Oh, did you?
I didn't know a lot about this book actually, and I have like until you got the review copy and we're talking about it and stuff. Like I didn't really know much about it, so I literally purchased it full price.
And it's great. And if you are someone that, again, the cringy dialogue gets in the way or something, but you want to like know the love story, if that's a barrier for you, stuff like that's what's so great about Star Wars, is that there's so many ways to enter it, so many ways to learn these things and love these characters, and great. That's a good one to end on. I mean, it's not as good as the other two that went before us, let's be clear. But y'all, as you're listening to this, as you're watching this, as we're wrapping up, I hope that whatever unpopular opinion you have with Star Wars, whatever it may be, I hope that you have some people that will have fun with you like this, and I hope it brings you joy. I hope that if you hear a new Star Wars order, or you hear a new book that someone loves that you didn't, you give it a shot, you try it out. Because let's be honest, we're going to be watching these things till the day we die. So why not shake it up? Why not find a new way to look at something? Why not find a new way to drink up Star Wars? Pink milk. So before we get out of here, that was an audio dab for all listeners to the podcast feed. Before we get out of here, Brian, tell everyone watching, listening, where they can find you, what y'all got coming down the pipeline at Pink Milk, all your live streams. It's the floor is yours, my friend.
All right. You can follow the show at Serving Pink Milk on Twitter and Instagram. And Wednesdays, we have our podcast where my husband Tom and I talk Star Wars. And on Friday late nights, we have a live stream with my friends Emma and Mark where we take deep dives into Star Wars, but we always talk it queerly. And it gets a little bonkers.
Good as well. Hey, you know what? You brought up freaking teak, so I'm assuming that you get a little bonkers.
Teak.
And if you want to be like really steamy, the chat room, we have like the most incredible chat room. Well, probably, y'all do too, because I'm in your chat room a lot. But it gets very steamy in there, and it gets very steamy. It's good time.
God, you need a steamy Friday night? Of course you do. We're still in COVID, all right? Get in there. Get some good steamy pink milk in your life. And on that note, my friends, don't put it up the screen yet. Bring me back. I wanted to say one more thing. I know I went into it. You're too fast. Next week, I want to let you all know, we are going to be starting our Victories Price Roundtable. I'm saying this for all of you in the chat. I'm also saying it so Corey and Wes will finish the book. We'll be doing
Let's be real.
our roundtable. Charles has already put in 6 hours, according to him, of work on the prompts. So come hang out. Read that for next week. And on that note, finishing screen.
Are you sure you want the screen? Are you sure you want the screen,
I want the
Eric?
screen. I like the screen. That'll do it for this week's episode of The Living Force. If you support us on Patreon, we want to thank you so much for that. Be sure to jump into the Discord. It has some great chats at youtini.com/Discord. A special thank you goes out to Cheryl Bell, Patrick Ortiz, and Carl Sander on our Jedi High Council, and Elizabeth Cloutier, Jason Mitchell, Freddie C., and Sally and Chris Eilerson and our Alliance High Command for their amazing support. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Eric Eilerson. Corey is at Dak Star Wars MD. Charles, when he shows up, is at C. Hankel. And Wes is at Boss Wes. A special thank you to Matt Davenport, our amazing editor, Ryan, our graphic designer extraordinaire, and Wes, our producer and community manager. Thank you to Corey, Wes, and Brian for podcasting with me tonight. Thank you to all of you for hanging out and drinking that pink milk. And as always, may the force be with you.